I'm overwhelmed. Ambassador Excellency Gustavo de Aristegui, all the other excellencies, ambassadors of all the Latin American countries that are here, my friends and family. Today, I'm humbled. I'm asked the question very frequently, why did you ever choose Spanish? Because it goes back to a story in 1973. And I always say I didn't choose Spanish, Spanish chose me. Because when I was a young girl of 18 and studying a foreign language was like fashionable, and French was the in language to learn. And at that time, if you weren't married at 18, all girls were meant to do something till they actually got married. So with that in mind, I thought, okay, I'm going to do French. And I went JNU, which had just opened 2 years before this. And I stood in the queue and filled my form for French. And while I was waiting for my turn, and I looked, and the next window was Spanish, which kept staring at me, and there were only 4 people there, and the queue for French was like 20, 30 people. And I said, okay, I'm not doing what everybody else wants to do. I will do what nobody's doing. And I cut French, and I just enrolled into Spanish. And that was the day my affair with Spanish really began. So I joined the university. I got married in the 3rd year. And my husband came to see me. And my parents said, he's the right guy for you. And I said, when I went to see him officially for the first time, I said, look, I'm studying Spanish. And in those days, it wasn't really easy for daughter-in-laws to continue their studies. So I said, I'm okay if you would let me continue studying Spanish. And he said, fine. So half the credit of this goes to my husband, because he let me continue with my studies. Because I used to leave home at 9 or 8 and come back at 4 or 5. And the other half goes to my father and mother-in-law. My father-in-law, who's 96, is right here. I dedicate this to him because I had a 3-year-old baby when I went to Spain to study. My son was 3, and I was quite nervous. I didn't know if I could do and leave, but my mother-in-law and father-in-law, who were really said, no, till you go to that country, you will never be perfect. And they took care of my son. So this award I dedicate to my husband and to my mother and father-in-law, Mr. and Mrs. Bakshi. And then when, of course, I went to Spain, and with nervous, my first trip abroad, and the minute I set foot on the Spanish soil, I was calm. I had a tranquility. I felt I had gone home. And that is the love I felt and feel today. And I have to tell my husband, if I wasn't married and I didn't have a child, I would have never come back. That's for sure. So, Minu smile that I was married and I came back. And thank you, Ambassador. You've really, really been very, very, very kind to me. And to close my thank you speech, I would just say, Viva España. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Please enjoy.